Hi guys, my name is Abby from Cheeky Beak's Parrot Rescue, and this handsome dude on my shoulder over here is Ray. Ray is a 10-year-old Congo African Grey. We were made aware of Ray's situation when his owner reached out for help on Facebook. At this point, Ray was in serious condition, lethargic and unresponsive in his cage. One of our directors reached out to Ray's family and offered our assistance, as they didn't have the means to get Ray the medical treatment that he so desperately needed. Being the closest team member to Ray, I rushed through to assess the situation. As soon as I saw Ray, it was apparent that he needed a vet urgently, so I rushed him through to the vet. The prognosis we were initially given was not good. Ray was diagnosed with a massive respiratory infection as well as severe starvation and malnutrition. It wasn't that Ray wasn't being fed, it was that he was being fed the incorrect foods. Both his respiratory infection as well as the malnutrition were a direct result of a peanut and sunflower seed diet. Ray's case highlights the importance of proper parrot nutrition. We don't say this to shame anyone. You can only do better when you know better. And that's exactly what Ray's family has planned. So, Ray was in ICU the first night, after which he was released to me, and I was tasked with formula feeding him in order to get some weight on him and get some energy in him. He was unable to even lift his head. He spent his days lying on the bottom of the cage with his head on the floor. He couldn't do anything for himself. So every couple of hours I would check his crop, and when empty, I would feed him. This meant swaddling him like a baby and feeding him with a syringe.
Hey, they're just above your head, right?
The formula I fed him was packed with multivitamins as well as probiotics, just to help Ray get back on track nutritionally. Ray took these feedings amazingly well, and he immediately began to trust me, which is incredible on his part. I'm so proud of him for that. After about 2 weeks, he decided that he was no longer going to be swaddled, and so I started making his food in a little cup for him. And then I would serve him his cup of breakfast, lunch, dinner, which was formula packed with all the nutrition, etc. that he needed. On top of this, Ray was also being transitioned from a seed diet to a healthy pellet and fresh fruit and veg diet. Ray took to this change amazingly well. I'm honestly so proud of him for how he handled it. We haven't had a single setback in transitioning him from a seed junkie, and I'm happy to say that Ray is very much a reformed seed junkie, and there's no looking back. Hey boy. Ray he's been with me for just over 3 weeks, and we're looking at sending him home within the next week. Ray's owner has been doing all sorts of research. We've been coaching him on proper parrot husbandry. We've equipped Ray with a new cage that's rust-free, all sorts of toys, a supply of food. We've really gone all out. All that's in the way now is we have one final vet check to do, just to make sure that Ray is on track in terms of a full recovery, and have his beak, and as you can see, he needs his beak trimmed, his beak and his nails trimmed. And after that, he'll be ready to go back to his family, which I'm quite sure he will be thrilled to do. Ray is an incredible bird, and his story is one in a million. He has beaten all odds. He truly has. And I am so proud of his perseverance and his sheer will to live. Because without that, we wouldn't be here today. And I wouldn't be able to tell you the story about Ray the Grey, he's a very funny bird. Some days he loves me. Some days he loves me less. Some days he doesn't want to know me. But overall, it's been an amazing experience getting to know this guy. And his owner has promised that I can remain a part of his life, which is really important to me because having nursed him back to health from such a condition, it would be hard to just let him go and never see him again. But I'm happy to report that Ray is making a full recovery with the help of Cheeky Beak's Parrot Rescue and will be returned to his owner in a matter of days. A lot of questions have been asked about his return to his owner. I'd like to just address that right now. It was never a question of if he would go back. It was always a question of when. Never did we take possession of Ray in terms of ownership. We took on his medical care and his rehabilitation. But we never once took ownership of Ray. Ray has remained his family's property and will remain their property. He is a very much loved family pet, and it was just an unfortunate situation where they didn't have the means to get Ray the help that he needed, and they didn't have the knowledge to do right by Ray. We're making sure that they do now, and they know going forward that if they ever need anything, they can reach out to us, because that's what we do. We help. Thank you guys so much for all of the support and love that you've shown Ray and me and Ray's family and everyone involved in this amazing recovery. I don't have the words to thank you enough for everything that you guys have done for us. Ray, well, he probably has the words, but they're probably not nice ones. We're all super grateful for your support and your encouragement, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you guys for following Ray's story and for being our supporters. This is why we do it, for birds like Ray who need us so that he can go on to live another 50, 60 years. Thank you guys so much and take care. Stay safe in these times.